In the heart of Malawi, nestled among tall mountains and dense forests, there was a small village called Chimwemwe. The village was special, for it was home to a group of wizards who were known far and wide for their incredible magic. But these weren't just any wizards, they had a unique way of getting around. Instead of walking or riding horses, they flew on broomsticks. And what's more, they only traveled at night when the world was quiet and the stars filled the sky. The wizards of Chimwemwe had lived in the village for generations, long before anyone could remember. They were wise and kind, using their magic to help the villagers and protect the land. During the day, they looked like ordinary villagers, wearing bright, colorful chitenge fabrics and helping with chores like farming and cooking. But as soon as the sun set and the sky turned dark, they would gather in the village square, ready to embark on their nightly adventures. The youngest of the wizards was a girl named Chimwemwe, just like the village. She was only 7 years old, but she was already showing signs of being a powerful wizard. Chimwemwe had big, curious eyes that sparkled like the stars above, and a smile that could light up the darkest night. She was always full of energy, eager to learn from the older wizards and excited to join them on their nighttime journeys. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Chimwemwe rushed to the village square, her little broomstick clutched tightly in her hands. The elders were already there, their faces wise and gentle as they prepared for the night's flight. Among them was Bambo, the oldest and most powerful wizard in the village. His beard was as white as the clouds, and his eyes held the wisdom of 1,000 stories. "Are we going to the Great Lake tonight, Bambo?" Chimwemwe asked, her voice filled with excitement. Bambo chuckled softly, his eyes twinkling. "Not tonight, little one," he replied. "Tonight, we have a special mission. There's a storm brewing in the mountains, and it could bring trouble to the village. We need to calm the winds and protect our homes." Chimwemwe nodded eagerly, gripping her broomstick even tighter. She loved flying through the mountains, feeling the cool night air rush past her face and seeing the world from high above. But more than that, she loved the idea of helping her village. As the wizards gathered around, Bambo raised his hands, and a soft, glowing light surrounded them. "Remember," he said, his voice strong and clear, "we are the protectors of Chimwemwe. We use our magic not for ourselves, but for the good of our people. Now, let's fly." With that, the wizards mounted their broomsticks, and one by one, they took off into the night sky. Chimwemwe was the last to go, her heart pounding with excitement as her broomstick lifted off the ground. She soared up into the sky, the village growing smaller and smaller below her. The stars twinkled brightly above, and the moon cast a gentle light over the mountains. As they flew, the wizards could see the storm gathering in the distance. Dark clouds were swirling above the peaks, and the wind was beginning to howl. Lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled through the mountains, making the trees shake. Bambo led the way, his broomstick glowing with a soft, golden light. "We must calm the storm before it reaches the village," he called out to the others. "Chimwemwe, stay close to me." Chimwemwe nodded and flew up beside Bambo. She watched in awe as he raised his hands and began to chant in a language she didn't yet understand. The other wizards joined in, their voices blending together in a powerful song. As they chanted, the wind began to die down, and the clouds stopped swirling. The lightning grew fainter, and the thunder became a distant rumble. But just as the storm seemed to be coming, a bolt of lightning shot out from the clouds, heading straight for the village. Chimwemwe gasped in fear, but Bambo was quick. He raised his hands higher, and with a burst of light, he deflected the lightning, sending it harmlessly into the mountains. "That was close," Bambo said with a sigh of relief. "But we're not done yet. Chimwemwe, I need your help." "Me?" Chimwemwe asked, her eyes wide. "Yes, you," Bambo replied with a kind smile. "You have a special gift, little one. Your heart is full of light and hope, and that is the strongest magic of all. I need you to create a rainbow to calm the storm." Chimwemwe's heart raced. She had created small rainbows before, just for fun, but she had never tried to make one as big as this. Still, she trusted Bambo and knew that he believed in her. Taking a deep breath, Chimwemwe held out her hands and closed her eyes. She thought about all the things that made her happy, the laughter of her friends, the warmth of the sun, the beauty of the stars, and she focused all her energy on those feelings. Slowly, the soft, colorful light began to form in her hands, growing brighter and brighter. When Chimwemwe opened her eyes, she saw a beautiful rainbow arching across the sky. It was the biggest, brightest rainbow she had ever seen, with colors so vivid they seemed to dance in the air. The storm clouds began to fade, and the wind calmed to a gentle breeze. The lightning stopped, and the thunder became a distant memory. The other wizards cheered, and Bambo smiled proudly. "Well done, Chimwemwe," he said. "You've saved the village." Chimwemwe beamed with pride, her heart filled with joy. She had done it. She had used her magic to help her village, just like the other wizards. As the rainbow faded and the sky cleared, the wizards began their journey back to the village. Chimwemwe flew alongside Bambo, feeling like she was on top of the world. When they reached the village, the wizards quietly landed in the square, careful not to wake the sleeping villagers. Chimwemwe felt a deep sense of accomplishment as she stepped off her broomstick. She had grown a little wiser that night, and she knew that she was well on her way to becoming a great wizard. But the night wasn't over yet. As the wizards gathered in the square, Bambo turned to the others with a serious expression. "There's something else we must do before the night ends," he said. "The dark wizard Kafil has been causing trouble in the neighboring village. He's been using his magic to steal their crops and make their rivers run dry. We must stop him." The wizards nodded in agreement, and Chimwemwe's eyes widened. She had heard stories about Kafil, a powerful wizard who had turned to dark magic. He was feared by many, but Chimwemwe had never met him before. "Chimwemwe," Bambo said, turning to her, "I know this is a big task, but I believe you're ready. Will you come with us to face Kafil?" Chimwemwe's heart pounded in her chest. She was nervous, but she knew that she had to help. "Yes, Bambo," she said, her voice steady. "I'll do my best." Bambo smiled and nodded. "That's the spirit. Let's go." The wizards mounted their broomsticks once again and took off into the night. This time, they flew faster, determined to reach the neighboring village before Kafil could cause any more harm. As they neared the village, they could see the damage that had been done. The fields were dry, and the crops had withered away. The rivers, once full of life, were now nothing more than trickles of water. The villagers were huddled together, frightened and unsure of what to do. "There he is," Bambo said, pointing to a figure standing at the edge of the village. It was Kafil, his dark robes billowing in the wind. He was holding a staff, and as he raised it, the sky above the village grew dark. "We must stop him before it's too late," Bambo said. "Chimwemwe, remember your rainbow. We'll need it to break his spell." Chimwemwe nodded, her heart racing. She gripped her broomstick tightly and followed Bambo as they approached Kafil. The dark wizard sneered as he saw them coming. "So, the wizards of Chimwemwe think they can stop me," he said, his voice cold and menacing. "You're too late. This village is mine." Bambo raised his hands, and the other wizards followed suit, casting a protective barrier around the village. "We will not let you harm these people, Kafil," Bambo said firmly. "Your dark magic has no place here." Kafil laughed, raising his staff higher. "You think your light can stop me? I am more powerful than all of you." With that, Kafil unleashed a wave of dark energy, sending it crashing into the wizard's barrier. The force of the attack was strong, causing the barrier to flicker and weaken. Chimwemwe felt the strain, but she refused to give up. "Now, Chimwemwe," Bambo called out. "Create the rainbow." Chimwemwe took a deep breath and closed her eyes once again. Moral of the story: everyone has something special inside them, and with practice and kindness, you can use your gifts to help others, just like the wizards of Chimwemwe.